Hey, before we start,
Oh, nope. Too late, John. It's go time. You gotta press.
Got Sandra,
Welcome to Drawing Hive.
all right, welcome everybody. Just as a reminder, Drawing Hive is brought to you by Visual Arts Passage. Visual Arts Passage is an online resource for artists that want to be painters and illustrators. And we are enrolling for our fall semester, which starts at not this weekend, the following weekend, I think October 5th. I'm sure Timmy's going to talk to you about that during the evening, and myself. And anyway, if you're here to draw, you're in the right place. Tonight, well, there's my visual arts passage. Sorry about that. Tonight, we are drawing antiheroes. And there's some real, these aren't exactly our poses, but it's going to be a fun night. We got some really great choices of reference. First up is Walter White, Bryan Cranston, Uma Thurman and Kill Bill. James Gandolfini is Tony. We got Syl in the background there if you want to draw Syl, Stevie Van Zandt. Last up, Clint Eastwood.
All right.
And everybody's going to tell me what movie this is from. We got some fun reference. We do 3 poses. We do 2 20-minute poses and then a long pose, a 40-minute pose. You can do one image or you could do all the images. Your choice. And tonight we have a really, really fun guest, extremely good artist, Reynier Llanes. I hope I did you I did that right. I think I did. It messes. I can't. Timmy said, "Don't look at the type. Don't look at the type because it's."
we did a good rehearsal.
So I'm glad we got through it. There's absolutely brilliant work. I had so much fun going through your website and looking you up on social media. You are a very, very good artist, and thank you for joining us tonight. It means a lot.
Thank you so much. It's a truly a pleasure to be here, and I'm flattered coming from you, describing my work that way because all of you guys are extremely good artists.
Well, I will attest the room. And you're going to find out at the end of the night. There's a whole bunch of really good artists that draw with us. I'm always shocked. It's like
nice.
I make the comment every night. It's like, where do all these good artists come from? They're all just I'm so impressed. So, ready to start drawing?
All right, let's do it. And everybody, please, as John mentioned, like share your work with us throughout the night. Post it to Instagram. Panelists, don't worry about this part. But if you're tuning in and you're drawing with us, please post it, and we're gonna check it out at the end of the episode. The hashtag tonight is hashtag drawinghive221 and at Visual Arts Passage. Please tag us in the caption, and it's my favorite part of the show. We get to see what everybody's up to. And the bench tonight on the panel is stacked. It's great. Really looking forward to this.
Super excited that Reynier's here.
Thank you. I'm so excited too. You guys are full speed ahead with the story.
I was just gonna say, I was just gonna say, Scott's been here before because look where Scott's at already.
Man, that's amazing.
He came with the drawing though. I'm gonna say I saw that, Scott.
I got the drawing done before because I'm slow. I'm a slow artist, so I knew I have to give myself a handicap so that I can finish the piece by the end.
This is slow. You're gonna finish it like in 5 minutes.
Well, I'm adapting my technique to move a little quicker because I didn't finish the piece last time, so trying to move things along here. But
Ooh, Scott, we're brush twins.
Oh, we are, huh? You like the
Yeah.
Princeton's?
I
Yeah.
love the velvet touch.
Yeah, that's my go-to.
So,
We're drawing the same character.
Reynier, where are you based out of?
I'm based in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Based in Miami, moved from Charleston, South Carolina. I
Okay.
used to live there for almost 6 years, and I have been living with my mom and my dad. They came from Cuba in 2014, and I was already with my grandma. And it was very fun to live with my grandma for almost 2 years. She's now 102 years old.
No way.
Oh,
That's
Wow.
Yeah. And so they were missing the croquetas, empanadas, and all that kind of stuff.
You're making me hungry.
And they decided to move to West Palm Beach. And after let's say 3 months, I was like, okay, I think it's time for me also to kind of reunite with some of my family culture, and then that's what I did. Actually, when I moved to Charleston from Naples, Florida, I one of the first things I intended to do is to find for a Cuban restaurant. So I put in my GPS Cuban restaurant, and it gave me my address with bad reviews.
Really funny.
So that's the only thing I could find for Cuban food.
Bad reviews. That's really
Bad reviews. I think if he's still tested, it's still with the bad reviews.
So your parents came to the States in, you said 2014?
Yes, 2014. I was here already. I came to the States when I was 21.
Okay.
And that was in 2007.
What was that? Do you mind talking about what that experience was like in 2007?
Oh, it was fun. It was like Robinson Crusoe. You gotta
really?
Yeah. I came by boat. I was trying to leave the island, and I tended to. That was my 4 in 10, which I was lucky to make it to the boat, and there were 24 people.
Wow.
And the ocean, I have been on a cruise, but I bet it's very different from that view of a cruise than in a small boat in the middle of the ocean. And yeah, the weather can change so fast that you won't believe it. I was I mean, I when I engaged in that journey, it was more this is an adventure. But really, when you confront real life, especially in the ocean, is I don't know. I saw once lighting that were coming from the sky and then impacting the ocean, and from fractions of seconds, you can see the entire ocean below.
Wow.
Yeah, unbelievable. So yeah.
At that age, did you know that you wanted art to be part of your life as far as a livelihood?
I did, but it was very uncertain because being an immigrant, coming to a new country, especially when you don't have family, it's where to begin.
That's overwhelming.
Yeah, it's super overwhelming. I didn't know the language. It was hard for me to communicate. It took me probably 3 years to kind of grasp and almost to say greetings, hello and things like that.
Oh, that must have felt like eternity to get.
I know.
Comfortable.
I asked my friends that they knew perfectly English. How, for real, how do you know how to speak in English? I used to have this. It looks like a calculator. and it was like you would type a word in Spanish, and I would translate it for you.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this
I totally
you,
remember those things. Yeah,
you
that's like,
you have one of those
yeah.
super big.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
It looks like a computer in your hand.
Totally. It's like how you traveled before anybody had cell phones so that you could figure out how to get
Yeah.
around.
All right, so I was lucky when like 2 months after being here, I asked my mom to send me some of my paintings
Oh,
from
okay.
Cuba, and then I met this guy randomly. I was like in Michael's, and I was trying to frame my work because I have sold one of my pieces for like $300, and I was like doing my math and say, okay, so if I can sell one painting a month, maybe I can make a living. Then I went to Michael's, and Michael was like, no, it's $300 to frame each of your paintings. I was like, I just made $200. So I was
Yeah.
wrapping up all my paintings, and then I heard this voice, like a very deep voice talking to me, and I was like, okay, guys, don't insist. I don't have money. I don't gonna pay for frames for my work. But my friend was like, hey, this dude wants to work with you. And I was like, what do you mean? It's like, yeah, he wants to show your work. I was living in Lehigh Acres, which is a city close by Naples, Florida. And he had an office, and he wanted to come into the art business. And he asked me if I wanted to have a artist studio gallery in downtown Naples. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, that's my dream. So to answer your question, it was like, yes, my expectation was like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to, to just make money and to support my family back in Cuba. And in my free times, I will do paintings. So, and this opportunity came around, and I started doing my work in this space for almost 2 years. His name is Dan Lenihan, and most of the 2 years I was with this calculator translating words one by one. He was a very patient man.
That sounds like a extraordinarily like unusual, like lucky timing of event.
It
I
is.
mean,
Ah.
yeah, like the stars aligned.
Yes, my friend. Absolutely. We did a show. My first solo show was in that gallery studio. It was in Naples, and I call it a strange visitor. And a strange visitor was formulated back in Cuba. I was doing these paintings related to my trying to make it here to the United States, and how Cubans were engaging in this same sort of escape. And I learned from the early times of school that metaphors were a good use to represent art, especially when you live in a government that you cannot most high what you're intended to represent. So a lot of my paintings were still live, kind of doing a criticism. And I call it strange visitor because we have a problem in Cuba that when a small fly comes to your home, you're gonna have a strange visitor. And
weird.
And some of the paintings I portrayed this fly, very imperceptible, kind of hiding, and that was I felt like that was myself, like referring to this new path of my life, to being in the United States. So that was my show in Naples, And luckily enough, it got really good accolades from the newspapers, and people were engaging with the stories on these paintings. For the first time I did, and I think that's the only time that I have done writings about my work and each single painting, but not as describing the painting. I was more like made up story related to what I was trying to express. And sometimes people say, "Oh, you don't have to talk about your work," and that really kind of like engage people in a very interesting way. Like I saw people like crying and got emotional about it. Yeah, it was very special times. Okay, Cassandra.
That's amazing.
No, your painting is looking amazing.
Oh, I'm like enthralled by your story, man.
That's very good. That's good drawing.
We
Hey, so you're in Miami right now? Are like how's your weather going, man?
My weather, let me see from my window. So I'm in my studio right now. Weather is nice. It's just speculation about a lot of rain. Thank God.
It's not hitting Miami too bad.
It's not.
Oh,
It's not.
good.
Yeah. We'll still have some couple more months to deal with hurricane seasons.
Yeah.
But hopefully nothing like the
North of you.
the ones that came and almost devastated Naples.
Yeah, I have a good friend in Naples, so he keeps updating me about his weather currently, actually.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm in my studio, and the room I am right now, it is the vitamin D room, because it's the only place that have windows and I can have some sunlight.
there we
Like
go.
that.
Comes through. Comes through.
So, like 21-year-old Reynier coming to the States, where were you getting a lot of your inspiration for your art? Or like, who were some artists that, I don't know, were really inspiring you at that time?
That's a good question. We didn't have that many references in Cuba. The only access close to internet was Encarta. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Encarta is it's kind of like a platform that we use to get information and have a decent database on it that you can search for things, but that's it. And then you have books, art books, but very controlled information. Like, you will learn more about the impressionist artists and art history, but not in a broad aspect. Like, for example, I have a friend of mine. His name is Julio Arras. He's one of the most important Latin American artists. He's Cuban, and I learned about his work when I came to the United States, because it was prohibited in Cuba.
Was that just like when you came here and you started to, I'm assuming, just like consume media that wasn't accessible? Was it just like an information overload at first?
It wasn't like it is today. I sometimes I feel overwhelmed by the amount of information that I consume. I need to go in breaks. Before it was more fun.
Yeah.
I have my iPhone. That's a funny story about how I got my first iPhone.
By comparison to today, it was like still drip fed.
Yeah. So I got my first iPhone because I always get lost. I was living in Naples, and then I moved. I came to Miami for a birthday party, and I stayed, and then I left the next day, and then what happened? So instead of going west, I went east, Uh, so usually it took like 2 hours to get to Naples. That day took me like 10 hours.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, typical, right?
Yeah. I like you're
I
like
totally understand this. I'm directionally challenged. So
East. I thought you said West.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I got my first iPhone, and then internet was kind of for me totally new, and I had my first account, which was Facebook account, and that was just more for family. But I had to think a lot. Google Art Project. I don't know if you're familiar with that website.
hmm
That was like kind of my mentor for many years. I was able to learn a lot from Google Art Pro, because you can get very close to painting, like do that in a museum, which I
Oh,
have not
yeah.
incurred. Yeah, so that's very neat.
This is always a popular question. Would love to go around the room and hear what everyone's working with tonight. I'm gonna start with the order of the squares on my screen. With Scott. Scott, what materials are you using tonight?
It's a craft paper sketchbook, so kind of like a heavyweight cardstock sketchbook that I was
Nice.
turned on to by another friend, and just straight watercolor at the moment. And I'll bring in probably some opaques later once
Yeah.
I get all the shadows established. But that's
What
it.
did
Basically
you
just
what did you
watercolor.
start the drawing using?
So I actually, dude, this is another reason why I had to start early. It took 3 drafts of the drawing before I felt like I had a competent likeness that I felt okay
Yeah.
with. So then once that drawing was done, I was drawing in Procreate, and then I just printed it out just on a printer here, just shadow map drawing, and coded the back with graphite and transferred it down. So
There you go.
there it is.
Some
What kind of ink is that?
It's actually just watercolor.
Oh,
So
it's
yeah, I know it
watercolor.
looks like wink, but yep,
Nice.
nope, just straight watercolor.
Nice. Yeah, it looks like ink, right?
Yeah, that's a good tone you got there.
No, thanks.
What are you using? Oh yeah,
Oh,
you're
sorry.
going from a list. Yeah.
sorry. Dale, are you sticking to the tried and true
Yeah,
method?
on my last little nubbin of
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so tiny.
No.
We have to
What is
see
that,
this
Dale?
one.
Is that a Carbothello?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And then maybe I'll go someplace else with it, maybe not. And
I really enjoyed. I was watching you make the dome for Walter.
Oh yeah,
and I
he's
really
got quite a head bit there, right? I don't know if
Yeah,
it's or not, but I didn't realize that.
yeah. Oh, very nice.
You never know till you shave your head. But
Very
I
nice.
know. I shaved my head once and I was like, whoa.
And you're like, you're like, control, delete, control,
Yeah, people were asking if I was okay.
control, undo.
Yeah, yeah. And I was getting a lot of, oh man, are you okay?
Yeah.
That's saying a lot, Dale, seeing some of the pictures of you with all that hair when you were younger.
Well,
Yeah.
you gotta try.
If
Have to
if I'm in Adobe Premiere long enough, I'll have moments like that in my real life where I'm like, I need to undo this, where I will think like Command Z.
That's fun.
I'll be like, oh no, this isn't an Adobe product. This is just my hair. No. Cassandra, what's on the docket tonight?
shocking. It's a cardboard treated with GAC 100.
Yeah.
And it's acrylic on top.
Oh,
I
nice.
almost
Nice.
used ink. I am still trying to figure it out. I got a big purple puffball mushroom that somebody from DCR got for me, the Department of Conservation, and I made ink from it this week.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
it's so funny. I for sure
Wow,
thought you were
nice.
talking about. I thought you were talking about DC Comics. I was like,
No,
oh, that's
it's this.
cool.
It was this. It's this huge mushroom. It was like this
Yeah.
big, and so she's like, "I bet you could make something with this." So
Yeah.
I did.
Well, I'm gonna add that to your bio on our website. Learn from
Yeah.
a DC artist. We just
Huh.
won't
Talking about
elaborate.
that DC.
Not that DC. The
Right.
other one.
A DC artist.
A DC artist. Reynier, what's your plan for the evening as far as materials and approach?
I'm using watercolors. I haven't been working on watercolor for a while.
Nice.
Yeah,
They're looking
it's,
lovely.
I love that. I love the you're going on a live podcast and you're like, I'll use material I haven't used for a while.
yeah, I think we were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm cheating the watercolors because I love watercolors. One of my favorite medias. But there was it was a friend of mine, an artist. I think they have his work here. Let me show you. And see,
Oh,
Ooh.
wow.
Nice.
so he paints with watch.
Flash.
Uh-huh. And I didn't know watch. I was like, you might want to try. So I began to paint with wash, and I fell in love with it. Because it's kind of like in between the watercolors and I might say, acrylics maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
And
nailed it.
yeah, and so it is. And for me, like right now, I'm like, my work has to do a lot with texture and layers. So I found it very convenient for me to start giving more chance to the watches. And it's been almost like 2 years now that I been sketching my work, because I do sketches for my paintings most of the time. I have them as a reference, and a lot of my ideas like come spontaneously, and I have this short-term memory that I forget things very quickly. So if I don't paint them, I will lose them. And so a lot of my sketches are coming from wash, but watercolors is so much fun.
Cool.
That.
Timmy, do you still have that
Cool.
video I sent you? I can resend it. I want it, like, I took a video, Reynier, of your hidden treasures painting because I'm
Uh,
absolutely in love with it. I love all your work.
thanks.
That's my favorite. And I was able to
Thank you.
show the texture on his stuff. Like, stuff came off, it seemed like it was 2 inches out, just in paint texture.
Yeah. Yeah, that painting I did while during the pandemic.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah,
So cool.
during the pandemic, a lot of my paintings I started having this drastic change, which I was trying to engage on it for a long time, but I was not allowing myself to do it. And I guess the pandemic, because a lot of the shows were canceled. I didn't know that this was a career that we're gonna keep, portraying the future, because it was very uncertain what was gonna happen.
Hmm.
So I just decided I'm gonna paint by the time being, the things that I have in my head, and the way I wanted to approach painting. So I started using more and more heavy impastos in my work.
How do you like, what do you add to your paint? When you guys see this, you'll understand, so that it can stay like attached and not fall off.
A lot of paint.
A lot of paint.
Yeah,
A lot-
I gotta add
More
paint to the
paint.
paint.
I was like, honestly, I assumed it was a lot of paint, but I was like, is there a secret that I just don't realize that how it happens?
No, I use on the first layers, which I've always done, acrylics.
Hmm.
So my acrylics, sometimes
You
I
can build up that
yeah,
way.
I can build it, but acrylics tends to, I think it's because the water tends to, it doesn't hold the volume as the oil.
Mm.
Like when it starts drying, it shrinks.
Yeah.
So, but it's a good base for me to kind of construct my work.
Here it is. Just look at the texture of this. This painting just,
It's amazing.
it's just
Thank you,
so
guys.
cool.
Thank you, guys.
Wow.
So you're just letting me geek out some on your work because I was just taking this video for myself because I couldn't believe it.
Thank you so much. Was that at the museum or Robert
No,
Lang?
that was at Robert Lang.
Okay, okay. So I just had a show. It ended.
At the Gibbs. Is it still up or is it down?
No, it's still it's done.
I was hoping I was gonna see it when I was in town.
It was it ran for like 4 months.
Mm.
And that painting was featured there. And the show called Passages, which is fun.
Mhm. It looked amazing. I hope it was just a wonderful experience for you. Is Gibbs a cool museum to show with?
Oh my gosh, yes, and they have a great team working there from the education department. Sarah Arnold was the curator of my exhibition. She did all the magic, and she also came out with the name.
Mm.
So the show consists in, I think it was like 30 paintings. Most of them came from private collections and some institutions, but it was interesting her selection because it was from some of these early works that I was telling you guys in the beginning from Cuba. There was a few paintings from that time, and it's not a retrospective, but it's more like a chronological view of my passage, I would say, which was interesting to see. Like for me, I hadn't seen many of those paintings for so many years, and the evolution, the transitions, the techniques, they had changed. They had changed a lot, I think.
Was it hard to hunt down all that art?
Yes and no. Some of the early paintings I know who are the collectors. Robert and Megan from the gallery, they loaned two of the painting, which was Hiring Treasure, and the other one was The Spell, which is a painting of another scuba diver.
That's a really cool one too.
Thank you. And that one that was on the show as well. And collector from Charleston that have collected my work since I was living there. So it wasn't that tedious, I would say.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm bummed I missed it, but it looked beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so it's already been 20 minutes. So we are moving on to the second one. Panelists get to do whatever they want. So you all ignore this, but people tuning in, please post your work to Instagram. It's hashtag DrawingHive221, hashtag DrawingHive and Visual Arts Passage. I'm going to drop it in the chat. Also, I've opened up the chat. So if you want to chat with us on Zoom, you ask questions, anything like that, please do so. It'd be fun to hear where everybody's tuning in from, and let us know where you're tuning in from and what you're using tonight, what materials.
And I hope everybody's weather's okay.
Oh, nice. You got John from Miami.
Nice.
It's always, interaction from listeners is always tough because they're also drawing.
Hey, I saw the I don't know if it's current or not, but somebody posted that Imagine FX.
Oh yeah.
Is that recent or?
That was recent. That came out. I got that yesterday.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
Trish in there,
fantastic.
Nate's in there, so some really
I got to share it now. So everybody start on that next one, and I want to share what that was because it's really exciting. So Imagine FX, really great magazine that I love even more now. They every year they do a roundup of their rising stars in the industry, and I was really excited to see that 5 visual arts passage students made it. Not only did they make it, only like I think 3 or 4 schools were featured. I don't have all the info because it doesn't come out in the US yet, but I got a sneak peek. We made the spread, people.
Yeah.
Nice.
work.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well deserved. Well
Yeah,
deserved.
so just to give a shout out though, some Drawing Hive regulars were featured. So Nate Schweitzer, these are artists that Imagine FX referred to as the superstars of the future, and their work at top art schools.
And they're all worthy of that title.
They really are. I was excited to see that we were going toe to toe with some accredited college art schools. That was exciting. So
But Timmy, they're going toe to toe with us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was
exactly.
gonna say, John.
well, I was talking about me. I was talking about my ego. Yeah. So just to give a shout out, Joe Tomsick, Nate Schweitzer,
Aaron?
Gerard Versace, Aaron Ruffino, and Shane Kleski. Very proud to have them as students. And they got the spread. It was very exciting to see that they got
Congratulations, guys.
6
That's
full
awesome.
pages. So yeah, congrats to those students. They showed up, you know. They're doing us proud.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, it's always exciting. I'm assuming you all have, I mean, pretty much everyone on, you know, John, Scott, Dale, you've all been able to see like a lot of students kind of blossom into like pretty amazing careers over the course of your careers as educators, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, it feels just as actually, I don't know, in a weird way, even more satisfying than when, you know, if I win something or get into a competition or something. It's just I don't know, it's a particular thrill to be able to, it feels like you're handing off something in a relay race, but the relay is time, you know what I mean? And it feels like you, I don't know, it feels like it's more important and more impactful when a student gets in there than when I do. Because I feel like I contributed to something, and maybe, you know, this isn't just a lonely pursuit in the name of vanity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes it can feel that way. So it's cool.
Yeah, I just need you to talk for me. You do a great way of just explaining complex thoughts. That was beautifully said.
Yeah, that would have taken me.
My poor kids grew up with me over explaining everything. So no, you just
No, I'll still take it.
this is probably just enough contact right here.
I would just bumble through and be like, yeah, and such as, and thank you so much. You did great.
Man, I lost track of the chat, and we got some people out there.
Cool.
Malaysia, I think, is probably the furthest out right now. Nate Schweitzer is my teacher's son. We know Randy well.
Oh, Randy's a rock star.
Yeah, Australia, using Photoshop. That's nice. All right.
Nice.
A lot of people. New Jersey, California. Yep. Very fun.
Got several people in Oregon.
There we go. Nice.
How often you guys do the podcasts?
Every Thursday.
Every
You're
Thursday.
always welcome.
Yeah.
Nice.
You will. Yeah, and you know what? If you show up 3 times, you end up on the text chain of being invited every Thursday.
I can
looking
attest
forward
this
for
is
that.
true.
I'm looking forward for that.
Yeah, if you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, like Scott, we're gonna have to get you a blazer soon for your like 4th time as a guest.
Wait, I didn't get a blazer.
I didn't get a blazer.
You're a host, Cassandra.
Wow.
You're a host. You're a full-blown host.
I just want a cool baseball cap. That would be perfect.
I was gonna say,
I would wear
like,
it with pride.
Like
Scott,
Cassandra in court, Cassandra could take this from us probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, good luck getting merch out of these guys. I've been around here for 4 years.
I know. I would love a hoodie.
Uh,
Can I just put that
um,
out there? I would love a hoodie.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna make
Yeah,
people.
Timmy's like, I gotta change this
I'm gonna
subject
make
now.
hoodies. You know
Change the
what?
topic, Timmy.
Yeah, yeah. I was just gonna say, you know what? I will offer this up. I will make a Drawing Hive hoodie if it is if enough people send me ideas for it. And it can't just be, it has to be great.
Oh,
And
wow.
so nobody should feel bad if they get turned down. That's the Drawing Hive merch. And we won't make any money on it. We won't
You
make
have-
any, we're
You
not,
have the business model exactly backwards. It's first, what's your budget?
no
And
budget.
What's your deadline? And let me see if I have time.
No, I'm like a free sweatshirt guy. No, I'm just kidding, Dale.
You're like a club owner.
A club owner. I'm just trying to get people in the door. No, what we'll do is we'll make merch, and then every year around summer when we have our lowest turnout, you know, like that perfect night in the summer,
Yep.
maybe it coincides with some major sporting event or something, or I don't know.
You mean the night that Cassandra doesn't show up?
Yeah, this the night the Cassandra doesn't show up. Nobody's here.
I go to the beach once a year. I'm allowed.
There's like 40 people tune in.
Oh, that's
And
when
I'll
I get
send-
the text saying, can you please come?
Please
Cassandra?"
come, Dale. Please. I'll send a sweater out to one person that tunes in. No, I'm just kidding. We'll come up with some merch. And I'm not just saying that. I need some help coming up with it though. We'll do it just for you, Dale.
Not just for me, it's for everybody, to me.
I forgot about that. You like to, yeah, you're a man of the people.
I am. And I'll tell them how to get it for free too.
You are gonna get it for you're gonna get it for free, and then you're gonna be like, if you just write Timmy a sappy email, he'll also send you a hoodie for free. Yeah.
I have a question for our esteemed panelists, if I may.
Yeah, let's hear it, Scott.
So Reynier, I'm curious if you have read the graphic novel by a fellow Cuban artist, Adele Rodriguez. Have you heard of that or seen it or read it?
What's the name again?
So Adele Rodriguez, who's a very, very
Okay.
well-known Cuban illustrator, also, you know, Cuban expatriate like yourself, you know, living in America.
Uh-huh.
And he came over when he was a kid in the Mariel boat lift. And he wrote a incredible graphic novel about the experience entitled Worm. And it's fresh on my mind because literally I've had it since last November. I bought it from Adele at a book signing he had in New York when I was out for the American Illustration party last November. And then literally just this last weekend, I was like, I still haven't read that. It's been sitting on the stack forever. I'm like, I'm taking the afternoon off and I'm just going to read it. I read it in one sitting and I was really impacted by it, really moved by it. I just think it's a phenomenal piece of work. So I just wanted to, if you're not aware of it, I wanted to call it to your attention because I think you would
Thank you.
feel
Thank
a
you for
special
bringing
connection to
up.
it.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing it up. I will try to get it from Amazon. Maybe?
Yeah. I'm sure it's available there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's amazing.
What was the what part do you like the most?
Well, I mean, for one, he gives a pretty blunt and candid view of what life looked like for him as a kid, you know, growing up under Castro and, you know, that regime. And also just I was aware historically of the Mariel boat lift, but in particular when he talks about the experience of what they had to go through just to even get on a boat, you know, to say nothing of the, you know, then the journey itself, similar to what you encountered, right? Like the weather can turn on you. Like it's only 90 something miles, but that 90 miles can be pretty treacherous, you know? So it's really striking. And then I actually don't want to give it away, but just some ways where all of a sudden his past suddenly came to the forefront as he was working on Time magazine is pretty moving. It's pretty amazing. So yeah, it's really something.
Wow. Yeah, I'm looking forward to read it.
John, are you ready for the more you know segment?
Is that what it's called now?
We're trying out all these different things.
Well, that's what I always feel like it is. Like there should be a little rainbow that goes across the screen before you
Yeah.
start
Kind
talking.
of a mixture of the more you know and remember when.
Mm,
Oh,
yeah.
that's fun.
Well, John brings the remember when because he can't remember. So
So we'll call it a remember when you know.
Oh, I like
Here's one other idea. So, I don't know if you guys remember back when Stephen Colbert was doing the Colbert Report
Okay.
on Comedy Central, and he would do this recurring thing called Better Know a Congressman. And it was all about, him interviewing some congressman and so that the audience could get to better know them. So you could, better know an artist, better know an illustrator.
well, that's good.
Mhm.
Good
I
idea.
like that. Yeah.
Like that. I don't always do artists though, but
Oh, that's
for
fair.
that portion of it, that would work. But Timmy, no, to answer your question, I am ready.
All right, it's happening.
I could use a break from my drink.
Wow.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
no, Scott. Don't underestimate the power of the production.
Theme
on this.
music. Seriously.
Okay, so Scott, you'll be glad you're here tonight because of this, because I know you're a fan.
Okay.
I know you're a big Gary Kelly fan,
I sure am.
and we're not doing Gary Kelly, but we're doing Tomorrow Day.
Yes,
Yes,
love
big fan of her.
And Tomorrow was a Polish, born in Warsaw, and I think 1894, 1896, somewhere in there, a long time ago, 1898. And she lived for 81 years. She lived to 1980. During her lifetime, she studied as a painter and kind of a neoclassical style. I don't know where she studied. She studied in Paris and studied with multiple artists, but it doesn't say any particular place. I'm sure there's an answer to that somewhere. But lived in Paris in between the two world wars. Became very successful, became part of the Bohemian Paris art lifestyle there, and really did flourish as somebody pushing the Art Deco movement. And you'll see in this work that this is an unfinished self-portrait, but I just wanted to include a self-portrait. It's the only one I could find. But as we get rolling here, her did a lot of still lifes later, when she moved to the States after the Second World War, or right before the Second World War. Painted a lot of socialites, painted a lot of famous people from Hollywood, and did a lot of still lifes. But this work, and we're going to get into some things here, the nudes, the figurative work, it's so beautifully composed and so beautifully done. Many has influenced many artists, many illustrators that have really dug into this work and owe her a nod.
Yeah.
Absolutely love this
Amazing.
stuff.
Yeah.
Talk about good shape work.
Absolutely.
Hey, John, I'm transferring right now to my computer from my phone. In 2018, I was teaching in Spain, and I happened to find out that there was a Tamara de Lempicka exhibition that was happening like blocks from the apartment I was staying at. And so I got some incredible close-up shots of some of her work. So when you're finished with this part, I can share my screen and show a couple of details in pretty nice high res for people to see some of the surface texture of her work.
Very cool.
That last one was amazing.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites of hers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just absolutely love it.
Luminous.
The lighting, huh?
Yeah.
The design work is amazing. And she became after the Second World War, being here in the States, the Art Deco kind of fell out of favor. She moved to Mexico towards the end of her life. That's actually where she died. But they had a big retrospect of her work back in 1960, kind of put her back on the map. It's amazing how over time somebody will just drop out, become out of favor. It's so good. Look at these things.
Oh,
That's gorgeous.
oh, look at that one on the left.
They're all just stunning.
They
Did
truly
she also did any murals?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think she was a muralist.
I thought she did one.
Maybe she did. I have no idea. I didn't run across any when I was looking. She did do some things. I put in some things that I was things that I didn't really associate with her. This has always been one of my favorites.
Mm.
But some things that her work changed, and she really pushed it towards the end of her life. With this,
That's her.
that's her.
Wow.
So is this.
Wow.
Wow.
And that is here from 19.
Probably in
What
the,
year?
I'm guessing probably in the 60s and 70s.
60s and 70s.
And then it went pure abstract. See,
Wow.
1960 right there. I just find that so fascinating.
Mm.
Yeah.
I relate to it because of, the direction my father's work took at the end of his life. I love this painting. I've always loved this thing. Tell me Gary Kelly didn't look at that a
Yeah,
lot.
totally.
No way possible they didn't.
Or all of it. And, as part of his arsenal. So anyway, that's my message tonight. That's just introducing another artist that you may or may not know, but somebody I really like their work.
Well, I think it's so
Okay.
great because, we've talked about Gary Kelly a lot, but you always talk about if you really like an artist, you should see who inspire them. So I think it's so great that you talked about her tonight so you can see how her work influences his.
A few weeks ago, we talked about Edwin Dickinson. So that was another, connection,
Mhm.
of Gary keeping that stuff alive.
Here, I'll share the few that I've got here, if that's cool, Timmy.
Oh yeah.
So here we go. So just incredible shape design, right? Just
Wow.
and really kind of like I guess I would describe it as like a very buttery oil surface, to everything. So here's and what was cool about this show is that it was stuff that, it's in that full Art Deco style. Look at the way she's designed the ribbons of the hair. And yet these were pieces that I, at least personally, many of them I'd never seen reproduced before. They were all new to me. And that's as, somebody who's a fan of the artist. So it was a pretty exciting show to get to see. And I hadn't been as aware of her still life work, which yeah, she had a
Wow.
couple of these. So here's a nice close-up detail of it. We definitely think more of, I think, her portraits
Amazing.
for sure. And then another great still life close up of it. And then just one more that I'll show. This one here, which I think is just like everything down to even that kind of electric green is so trademark of her, that kind of a like blue phthalo green that she used. So it's pretty cool.
Wow.
I love how she has soft, sharp edges, like how she plays those
Mhm.
against each other so beautifully.
Right. Yeah. Like it's like she's painting sculptures,
It's like
her
a
figure.
painting sculptures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on the, because that's like hard for me to understand a sharp, soft.
Okay, so like look at the gradation of color in the folds and just even
Mhm.
at the curls of the hair. So it's very rounded the way that she uses like the
I see.
chroma and the value in that. But then where the scarf ends, it's just this sharp line, or where like the fold cuts off, like it's sharp. So playing those two against each other is just like, candy for the eye. It's just delightful to kind of watch how those interact together.
Wow.
Well said.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Cassandra makes up lots of stuff. It's good.
Yep. If you say it with confidence, they think you know what you're talking about.
See, Cassandra, you're talking about me yapping. You're a good yapper.
You're a good yapper.
Yes,
Cassandra's a very good, I teach a class with Cassandra. She's a very good yapper.
Yeah, but I get a little over enthusiastic. Like, do you really need 40 slides about varnish? But I will give you 40 slides about varnish.
Hey, who feels like their Walter White is turning into Lenin?
Oh wow, that's not
But
far.
yours looks really good.
I feel like maybe because it's red, but I feel like I just propaganda,
Yeah, you
Soviet-
just
early Soviet Union propaganda here.
just yeah. Take it easy, Dale. Come on. We're trying to keep
The East Coast liberal elite in me. That's
yeah, isn't it? Yeah, that elite. Yeah, okay, intelligentsia. Yeah.
I don't make marks. I'm a Marxist. Oh,
Oh boy.
oh
Oh
boy.
boy, we just got demonetized on YouTube from all the YouTube dollars.
Well,
Yeah,
Speaking of
all-
that, my
yeah.
painting looks like a Karl Marx.
There, I'm noticing a trend.
yeah, we're going. It's communist night here, and
Oh,
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
It really is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
gorgeous.
Dang it.
It looks like Karl Marx.
So good.
Great.
That's
Oh,
beautiful.
Timmy, by the way, tonight we have to talk about things that like we want to recommend or inspired by, because I actually have some tonight.
I always ask people this, and they're always like, "Ah, it's so tough."
I
Um,
remember to think about it, and I actually have them tonight.
Okay, so I would love to do that. I'm going to plant the seed for. I like to give people time on this because they can kind of think about what they've been reading or listening to. But yeah, everybody on the panel, if there's anything that has just you've been really psyched about, really enjoyed reading, listening to, that's maybe even changed your artwork or gotten you excited about a piece or something, it's always great.
Well, Cassandra, you're up.
Okay,
Yeah, Cassandra's up to bat.
so this shouldn't shock you, but anytime there's like an Instagram like giveaway, you'll find me like commenting and like always like throwing my hat in for like free
There's
stuff.
like a cardboard box expo, and they're like, somebody gets 1,000 cardboard boxes. and
Yeah,
Cassandra's
you'll find my
tagging them.
name right there, right in the lineup. So Donato had one for like a 4.5 hour process video of him painting his Joan of Arc painting, and I actually won it. So I have been watching his process video, and it's literally from thumbnail to finished painting of doing that beautiful Joan
Wow.
of Arc painting. And it's like you can buy it for $29. It's so good. It's so great, and it's been a delight to watch while I've been working this week. So like lovely inspiration watching that. And then I listened, like Natalie Featherston recommended Art Holes, the podcast, and so I've been listening to the Caravaggio series, and like those two paired together has been this week made it a delight to paint while doing those.
What's the podcast?
Art Holes. So it's this guy who's not an artist at all, and he decides he's going to educate himself about artists, but he goes deep dives on like individual artists. Like he has like a 7-part series on Jackson Pollock, and each episode is an hour. He has one on Caravaggio. He has one on Frida Kahlo. So like I've just been doing Caravaggio. I'm trying not to like do it too much at once because he hasn't done any in a couple years, so I don't know if he's going to get back to it, but he's really thorough, and he does a great job of explaining what's going on in the time era and really setting you up for understanding why things are the way they are.
So I'm sorry, I'm slow. What's the name of it again?
art holes, like art like you paint, and hole like you would dig one, and it's
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
cavernous area.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, it's really good.
I have a recommendation as far as if anybody else
Yeah.
is struggling, but
Mhm.
I was looking for a new show to watch. I was trying to find a show that wouldn't like I'm trying to remove like I don't know a better word for it, just like brain rot from the media I consume, you know? And this is like a couple weeks ago, I was like, it sickens me like how quickly, like if I'm watching TV or a movie, how quickly I will get my phone out to just be like, I wonder if any student has emailed us, or like, oh, I got a ping on Discord, or the most obvious, I wonder if anything has happened on Instagram in the past 5 minutes.
That's
Right?
fascinating.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. And so I was like, you know what would kill this if I got really into a show where I have to read subtitles.
Oh,
Right. Yeah. And so so every night I
That's
feel like
clever.
I read a book basically, but I'm just watching a show where I'm reading subtitles.
funny.
But I got into a show. It's a German show. It's from a few years ago. It came out at like the height of everybody loving Stranger Things, and I think it kind of got snubbed as being like a it was like they went kind of toe to toe with each other, but they're very different shows. But it's called Dark.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I saw them. I saw the show.
Oh,
okay,
I
yeah,
started that.
okay.
Mhm.
I'm hooked on it. I love it.
It is. It is actually one of my favorite shows.
I love it. I'm
Yeah.
about halfway through it. Um, and I don't know. Something happened to me like the past couple of years where it's like hard for me to like sit through something and really focus, but man, it's so great. And
Mhm.
it's a story that I think it harkens back to like that there was this big interest in like nostalgia and like throwback, you know, like Steven Spielberg, all the kids get together to fight off the
Mhm.
bad thing. Like I feel like that started with the movie It Follows, and then really got wings with Stranger Things. And this, I feel like it has a like small town feel, but it's like not, it's extremely twisted, like the storytelling, and like the characters are
Mhm.
super wildly flawed. um I think there's a couple scenes in it that were some of the most disturbing scenes I think I've like ever seen on TV.
Oh my
um
gosh.
uh
Oh, can't wait to see it. Mm.
well you know what it is it's not well, you know what's kind of interesting is I say that. Meanwhile, there are shows like The Boys that,
Mhm.
like, on face value, are like gruesome and violent and really just like I think blend topics in a way that is can be kind of unhealthy for like general viewers. But with Dark, it's more so like really when you analyze the scene, you're like that is a very disturbing scene that I'm surprised and would never that would never be depicted with like a protagonist in American film. Um, so I don't know. It feels like an intellectual Stranger Things in my opinion. Not
Yeah,
that I'm
it's
an
very. I think
intellectual.
it's a very well thought series, and it
Yeah.
has a good plot that it give you that chance to keep watching and watching because you don't know
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. And
Uh-huh.
actually, I like it more than Stranger Things. Stranger Things first season was great for me, but the other ones didn't do that much.
I totally agree. And it started to feel like childish and cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
you know, like cute. And I tend to not really like cute. I mean, like cute can be fun, but like dark, I'm just like, oh, this is golden. I also love that I think any artist has to appreciate, and when I say artist, I'm talking about editing for me. I really appreciate when somebody says, this is the story. We are going to tell this story. This is how much time we have. And I don't care how successful this is. we are not going to add a trashy fourth season to it.
Yeah.
Right?
I do
And
like
I
you
love-
to understand when
and
it's time to stop.
Yeah, and the second I had buy-in for it was I read about the creators, and they basically were like, "This is the story. We need 3 seasons to tell it, and that's it." And
Mhm.
they made what became one of what's like widely acknowledged as like one of the best German TV shows ever.
Mhm.
And they were like, "No, we're done. It's over." I love that. There's a people I think are really afraid of finality now, like saying goodbye to.
You think?
I think so. I don't. I mean,
Mm.
maybe in media at least,
Mm.
we just won't let something just retire.
Is that
You know?
us, or is that more people who are like, we can make more money off of this?
I don't know. We all keep consuming it.
It's funny, I used to have this argument with my father, and it was
Really?
the first argument I had with my father where I was like, I'm right. You know, what I mean? Like, when you're a kid and,
Yeah.
your parents are, they have authority, right? But there was
Right.
a first time I was like, nah, I am right about this and you're wrong, and I'm just going to be comfortable with that. But he thought when Al Cap stopped making the Lil Abner cartoon strip, the Daily.
Uh-huh.
He said someone should take that over because that's the people's, and he was by no means a Marxist.
That's the people's.
Yeah, but he's like, it's a public trust now, and I'm like, yeah, it's a man, and I wasn't old. I was like, I
Is
don't
that
know.
because I'm here?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, pump the brakes, guys.
There is a phrase in Cuba. You had to do some extra works for schools or community work, and it was volunteer work. That's how they call it, volunteer work.
Huh.
And they will always tell you have to come to the volunteer work.
Mandatory.
So it's no choice. It's not volunteer.
That's funny.
Yeah, I get Cassandra. I mean, it's a good point. I mean, like people just, they want the safest bet that's gonna have money come back from it.
Yeah,
So
like I
you're
feel
right.
like there's something to be said about, oh, like I love this show. You don't know that it should be done, like that there was a plan for it to be done, but there was money, so they kept going. Until
Yeah,
you
Stranger
watch it.
Things though was supposed to be done.
Oh
I
no,
mean,
it should
yeah.
have. I agree. That one should be
Yeah.
done. But I
Yeah.
will I will still I'm gonna be curious what they do. They're probably gonna mess it up, but I'm still gonna check out what
Yeah, I
happens.
think the ship already sailed on messing it up, but I mean, but isn't it? I mean, hindsight's 2020,
Mhm.
And maybe 10 years from now we'll be like, wow, we were all so wrong. It aged so well.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I know, Dale. I doubt it too, but I mean, I don't know. I think that as individual, it's kind of like recycling as far as like a micro choice that we all have to make to
Yeah.
like as a community to like support,
Yeah.
small movies and like I it's tough because the types of films that are low budget that end up at a small theater that you can go see, like I'm not like a art house movie goer, but I love a movie that's kind of on the fringe that was done with a low budget and
Mhm.
has a really compelling concept behind it though. um and I think most movie theater goers, when they want to go to a theater and like see it in a like on a big screen, they're just like, what action movie is out now,
Yeah, I mean,
unfortunately.
you're thinking more, you're thinking of it as the art of filmmaking, and I think most people
Yeah.
probably just don't think that way. They
Yeah.
want to be
But
entertained. It's so expensive.
Yeah, I think that there will be and I don't want to bore people too much talking about this longer, but and while I say that, we should move on to the third and final one. It's hashtag drawing hive, hashtag drawing hive 221 and at visual arts passage. I was actually going to say this, like late night with the devil we did in here
Oh yeah, I
months ago.
do want to see that one.
yeah, super low budget movie. David Desmalkian. The reason I went to go see it, he's a Kansas City guy. And I was like, oh, cool. He did like he's in like superhero movies now, but he did this like low budget horror film. I want to see what that's about. And we go and like we're in this tiny little local theater and it's like loaded with people. And it was such a cool community thing that
Oh, yeah.
like
Nice.
that I remember when I was a kid. Cause I remember when do you remember when they brought Star Wars back to theaters like in the late 90s?
Yeah.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah. I remember going to a theater, like a local theater with my dad. This is probably the only movie I ever saw with my dad in theaters. And it was so packed I had to sit on his lap. And like people were like cheering and like laugh, it's like it's so fun. Um and it's kind of interesting now because like when you go to and like that was what it was like when I saw Late Night with the Devil. Like people were like very vocal and like it felt like you were watching it with like 30 people you became friends with,
Yeah.
I don't
You
know.
know what that was like for me? It was when I saw Chef in a small theater, and
Okay.
like uh it was fun because like they highlight Cuban food in that movie, and there's a great Cuban restaurant here in Richmond. And so like everyone was just delighted, and like people like strangers were talking to each other after the movie because they loved it so much. And then E and I saw it and we're like, all right, we gotta go to Cuba Cuba. So we went to Cuba Cuba and we saw a bunch of people from the theater there. We were all just eating and chatting and we didn't know them. And it was this experience just from the movie.
Nice.
That's wild. Anybody else got any like hot wrecks for the week or the month?
I don't know if it's a hot wreck, and it's certainly not new, but I'm reading Patti Smith's Just Kids, and wow, is that a good book? Like she is such an amazing writer that you go back and read. It's one of those books where you just go back and read sentences because it's like that was a sentence, man. The girl can write.
Yeah.
So, and it's basically how she kind of started her artistic life and randomly sort of met Robert Mapplethorpe and they lived in New York.
I was just gonna say, is that like a lot of like 1970s New York?
Yeah, and it's like, well, late 60s,
Oh wow, so even earlier.
early 70s. So I mean, like she's hanging at the Chelsea Hotel with everybody from Andy Warhol to Jimi Hendrix, and they were not A-listers. They were just
No, yeah.
just happened to be there. So it's a really cool kind of glimpse into that whole world that isn't around anymore.
I feel like anyone I've ever met from New York who lived there in the 70s shared a building with Lou Reed.
Yeah.
like I'm like, it's not possible that you all lived with Lou Reed.
I think it might be.
Like what was going on there?
Did he move a lot?
I
Yeah.
think he probably had to.
Yeah, he probably moved around a lot. Any other things people have been, I don't know, that you've been finding inspiration from, or I don't know.
Nothing.
Hey, I gave 2. I actually did my homework ahead of time.
I just figured I gave mine earlier when I told Reynier about how much I enjoyed Adele's graphic novel Worm. So that's my recommendation for the
There
week
you
for
go.
everybody to check out.
So
There you go, Scott.
That was an amazing.
I feel like you're just
That
like,
was- you kind of stepped on me, Scott. I was going to say, I'll let you know about De Olympia today. So that was my rec. Take a look at Tomorrow Day Olympica's work.
There you go, John.
yeah. I feel like Scott and John kind of turned the homework in late and copied each other. But that's okay. That's all right. Scott, that's looking awesome, by the way.
Well,
Oh,
thanks,
that's
man.
cool.
Ooh, did you
Oh,
just like
awesome.
click like your paintbrush over that to do that?
Yeah, just when the piece is going south, add spatter. That's my motto.
I love it. It works.
It's so true.
Make it soft, make it dark. There you go.
Just add a little razzle dazzle.
Yeah.
When you think of spatter in comics, who do you think really was the vanguard of that?
Bill Sienkiewicz, hands down.
Yeah.
Yeah, no question.
And then outside of that, I would say Ralph Steadman.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
absolutely. Well, and that's where Bill got it from was
Yeah,
was Ralph.
because I
Yeah.
was like,
I mean,
that's what he
seriously,
looks like he does.
big influence for him. So yeah,
Really?
Arnold Searle.
yeah, Sorrel.
Garth.
Wow.
How about Tooney?
Yeah.
Did a little.
Although
switch.
that is that spatter or is that just more of yeah, like it almost looks like stone lithography. Like I don't know how Tooney was getting those textures, but maybe it was spatter that he was doing to create it.
It does feel like lithography, but what do I know?
Dale, I'm just starting to draw his ear. You want to do it for me?
Got a weird ear. Look at
It's a good ear.
It is.
yeah, down near the bottom. I'm not sure what's happening here. I'm not sure if
Yeah, there's
But
some
the
strange
shadow makes it
strangeness down
weirder.
there.
it almost looks like an AI ear on towards the bottom.
In a year.
Yeah, it turns out Bryan Cranston stole his ear from all of the celebrity ears.
Yeah.
Just an
They took it-
amalgamation of 1,000 famous ears.
He scraped everybody's ear in Hollywood.
I swear Bryan Cranston has been 52 years old my whole life.
I know.
It totally has.
Sure.
Yeah. He's
I keep waiting for there to be a Dale episode where it's like good ears, like people with good ears.
I would love to do an ear episode.
Yeah.
Clearly Bryan Cranston is the winner tonight as far as the panel. I think this is the most people we've had in the room at the same time, all drawing the same person.
That's a really good point.
Well,
He's
Juice.
got a great head.
Yeah.
Great piece of
Okay.
reference.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a good photo. It has a good contrast with light and shadows.
Hmm.
Whoever
Oh.
chose the photo knew what they were doing. I just know that.
Yeah.
You did well, John. Good job.
nice job, John.
I like how you handled the glasses, Reynier.
You hit it out of the park.
What is it?
I like how you handled his glasses. Like you didn't have to do that part on the left. It's all explained.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Wow.
Nice.
It's gonna be so funny if everybody in the audience just did Bryan Cranston too. And it's just,
Just a Walter White kind of night, right?
yeah, if every single person tunes in only does Walter White, I'll buy everybody a t-shirt. I'll
Free
buy you all
sweatshirts for everybody.
free sweatshirts for everybody. It's not
Quick,
gonna happen.
everybody start drawing Walter White.
Yeah, really quickly post everybody. Delete
Yeah,
those old
it's-
ones.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fall for that.
He-Man did. Not surprised.
And then you know what? I will anti-hero my way out of that and just be like, no.
Villainous.
Yeah, I can also be an anti-hero, which anti-heroes in real life are just difficult people. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you know any anti-heroes? That's a good one.
Mm.
Think about this. Yep.
I would do a real quick yeah. Yeah. A confident resounding yes.
Yeah. How many anti-heroes are in your extended family?
You mean like that I could like reach out and grab right now, or like yeah, no, Dale, you could probably guess. Yeah. No, that's a good question.
This is my anti-hero.
He's my anti-hero. No, I am excited for October to roll around. We're gonna need some spooky themes for everybody.
Yeah.
But I will say I do, because my Chicago appointment, I'm gonna be October 30th. I'm gonna be an Italian citizen. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's so exciting.
Assuming I pass all the tests and everything. So everybody say a little Italian prayer for me to get through with it. But I want to have a like a Goodfellas night around then. Unless I guess I get denied, in which case we're never going to talk about
Then you're gonna forget about it.
we're never going to talk about it again. That's how you'll know that'll be the sign that it didn't work out well, is that you just I never mention it again. That's
Well,
that's like the
usually the move, right? You know,
what's up?
that's usually the move. I mean,
Oh
you get
yeah.
something, something doesn't work out, and you don't even think about it ever again, and you evict it from every part of your head.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, Dale? My
I decided I
dad.
didn't like Italy. That's
Yeah. Hey, I've been saying it for years. Would never move there. Yeah, just immediately just 180 it. No, Dale, to what you're saying, my dad, one time I asked him, like, how did my dad had a pretty he had a life full of failure and success, more success than failure, but more than anything, he had a life that I would describe as like zany and weird, very big fish, you might say. And
Like the movie, you mean?
yeah, like the movie is very big
Yeah,
fish.
yeah,
His story is like totally big fish.
yeah.
In that like most people think it's all made up until they met him, you know. But I
Yeah.
asked him like, what was like the driving force behind you doing things and like making things actually happen? And he was just like, I would get an idea in my head of what I wanted to do. And I think for most people, this is bad advice. But he goes, I would get an idea in my head. Like I wanted to do an adventure. I wanted to work with a certain person. And he goes, I would tell as many people as possible that I was going to do it.
That works.
And then he goes, and then I just told as many people as possible. And the pressure of following through on it became so immense that I had to make it happen.
Yeah, I've done that. That works.
Oh yeah. It
Yeah.
holds you
Really?
accountable.
You just be like, the shame that will follow failure on this one will be so intense that I cannot allow it.
Mhm.
Huh.
Yeah.
I did that.
That's a
in-
challenge.
I did that in high school. Well, probably junior high school. Because I moved, and when I got, when I wanted to be a new guy,
Yeah.
when I landed, so I told people that I played the electric guitar, and there were a few people who like played other instruments, and oh, let's play together. So suddenly I had to figure out how to play the guitar. So I put them off for like most of the school year, and in that time, I picked up a guitar, and I figured out how to just like stumble through some very basic stuff. So yeah, that whole thing came out of lying about it.
Ha. That's
So
funny.
funny. I was in a band class for one semester, Dale, and I played bass. And this is before I learned how to play bass. And I had to practice all summer to get into the class.
Yeah.
I did not practice. And so it was like day one. And I was next to another bassist. And this is like reading music. This was impossible. I was gonna fail day one.
Yeah.
And the kid next to me was just like, just move your fingers, I'll play.
That is awesome. That's awesome.
and
way.
and so I just like, for an
Oh,
entire
yeah.
semester, whenever it was my turn to like play, he would just play.
No.
It was so I think about that all the
Wow.
time, about how that would cause like deafening like anxiety for me today. And just back then, I would just go to that class just knowing like, man, I hope David's here today. I mean, like one day without him and this whole house of cards is going to come down.
That's pretty funny. It's like,
Little charade.
why are Timmy and David always out on the same days?
Yeah, exactly.
I know David's not there, and Timmy just walks in the room and then U-turns out of there quickly.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. It's kind of my Kaiser Sose
Yeah.
experience. I went through a whole semester just like pretend fiddling my hands on the bass guitar, just like kind of knowing, but just like, I knew enough to like to basically, I knew enough to air guitar.
You knew where your hand should be.
Yes, I got good enough to pretend to play bass. Yeah.
Dude, bass
Yeah.
is so easy. You could have done it in like 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But like I was a horrible student. We're just around the horn. Who was Cassandra, you were obviously you were teacher's pet, great student, right? Yeah, she's muted, but I can answer the question. It's yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I stepped out for a second. What'd you say?
Oh, I said you were like a good student, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was
John,
like an implicit rule follower.
John, were you a good student outside of, I mean, I guess you weren't really in art class. Were you a good student though in school?
No, I was
No?
an average, very average student.
Okay.
Became a good student in college.
C's get degrees, man.
Funny.
It's true.
Oh,
Scott,
like I'm still
I'm gonna-
average intelligence, but I would follow all the rules.
No, you're not. Cut that out.
yeah,
Cassandra, you can't lie to me. You were a student of mine. So
you're in the better, whatever the percentile is supposed to be, you're in the better side of it.
You're a good one.
I always forget I
Funny.
mess up 99 and 1, but you're in the good version of that.
Yeah, whatever the good side of that is.
Yeah. Scott, I'm
Scott
gonna
was a
take a
good
guess.
student. You don't even have to ask.
Scott, you were a good student, right?
I was gonna say John would be the one to testify to that. So whatever he says.
I don't know.
Scott was been a good student at everything.
I mean, did you use binders and folders to organize your stuff? I mean, this is a question.
You know, it's funny. I'm more organized now than I was as a student for sure. So, I mean, I was a good student. I would say, like Cassandra, I was a rule follower. You know, I
Yeah.
was never a troublemaker in class or anything like that. And the one time I can remember when I was a kid where I did get caught talking with some friend, and so then I got like lunchtime detention. And I remember I was just mortified, like horrified. It was just like, how am I going to tell my parents this? You know, like, because that to me, like, you know, I was one of the bad kids. I was one of the kids who
What?
broke the rules.
Your
Happened
life is
one
over. You
time.
failed because you didn't
Seriously.
do it right. I hear
And
you.
Oh
your
my God,
parents were
what?
Scott, your parents were like, oh, thank God.
Oh my God, wait,
Yeah.
we need to slow down. We need to slow down about the thing that got you in trouble. Did you go to like some George Orwell grade school?
No, it was like we were goofing around when
Oh,
the teacher
yeah.
was trying to get our attention. And so
Ah.
finally the teacher got frustrated enough that he called out me and my buddy Brendan. He was like, hey, you two, you know, it's gonna be lunch detention. You know, like you knew you were supposed to shut up. And it never had happened. I was probably in, I don't know, 3rd grade, 4th grade, something like that. But yeah, it was horrifying to me at the time. And just so that tells you what a little rule follower I was, you know.
I mean,
Yay,
great.
Scott. We can be in the club of like our way of rebelling is by following every rule possible, even when not
Totally.
necessary.
Rainier,
Yep.
what was your like educational experience like? I mean, first of all, were you a good student?
Man, I always get distracted.
Yeah.
I have this deficit of attention.
Mhm.
And I think it's because I didn't I felt like in like middle class I will be, oh, I'm not a good student. I don't pay attention to the class. There are kids that they don't even write in the notebooks and they have high scores. And I think I judged myself a lot. And then I got to the art school when I was 17, and the entire game changed. Like I was sharp, I was, you know, putting attention to things. So I guess I wasn't interested in anything that was, you know, happening before. I would just wanted to do art.
Yeah.
But I think I have this deficit of attention that you know, sometimes if I not push myself to be focused, I will, you know, I'll be lost.
Do you have to struggle with that with like doing your art, or is that go out the window when you're focused on the things you're excited
Yeah,
about?
when I focus, when I focus, when I like, you know, painting, it's like, you know, I'm on a different universe. Like right now I'm painting, I'm following you the conversation, and sometimes I just get lost.
Yeah.
But it's not intentional. It's I think it's my personality. It's something that I had to like before, like when I was very young, I thought about too much I was gonna say, that in a conversation people would be talking about something, and then I'll be thinking so much I was gonna say next that the topic had changed already. So,
Oh, I hate that.
Oh yeah.
That's how I feel on the show.
Dale, how old were you when you made that move?
Me?
Yeah.
I was 78, 79. So I was 15.
78. I moved in 77. I was 16. And I still have nightmares about being lost in my high school that I
Oh,
I was lost like the whole
Yeah.
first 6 months. Everybody, you had like a short amount of time. I was always late to class. I never knew where anything was.
Yep. Yep.
John, I've most of my nightmares are being not prepared for a test or late to a class or getting
I,
caught
s-
cheating.
I still have those too, Timmy. Totally. It's wild. Like, how am I still having nightmares about not studying for the test? It's insane.
I'll be
Mine's
totally
just an illustration deadline.
yeah. Oh, really? In the spirit of like honesty, I cheated like a lot in grade school to get by. I'm not saying it to brag. Don't cheat. I mean, it's a vicious cycle, like because you fall behind. It's brutal.
Really
Sure.
cheating yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you are. I I did see a TED talk on how students who cheat at in certain testing situations, that it's like a skill. Like basically the argument was like it's a problem solving skill, that it's like they're figuring out a way to exist and thrive in a system.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, that was like, so high school for me was so stressful because I just felt like, I mean, it felt like oftentimes like imagining like getting a job at like a doctor's office that you're not qualified for, you know?
Sure.
You're just like, oh my God, I'm living a lot. Like I was just, like, like that band class I'm telling you about, like that was like light work.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. That was like, as far as like the high school concept. And it's so funny because you think about how people change over time. I could not, um, I couldn't like, I couldn't function with that type of like, that type of pressure and like that type of just like existing in like in chaos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that would be, I could not live with that today.
Mm.
I wouldn't, and I don't think it was good for me considering I still have nightmares about it. It clearly left an impact on me.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Reynier, can I pick your brain about your process a bit?
The watercolor.
No, on your oil paintings.
Oh, my own paintings. So
Can I ask, like, do you do like a sketch ahead of time? Like, how do you get from like, you don't have to go excessively deep, but I'm just curious, like, your start to finish, how that happens for you.
at first, I start with the idea. I tend to meditate to create some of these compositions that I come to my work. Sometimes I just watch movies and I got inspired by the cinematography,
Mm-hmm.
and then I do drawings, initial drawings, like very small, like toenails drawings. And after most of the times, I do these wash paintings that I was talking about,
Mm-hmm.
or oil sketch, um, just to keep the ideas in file. And I also worked in various different paintings at the time because the oil take some time to dry.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked with sometimes with wet on wet, but some other times is with the painting is dry. I keep adding layers. But basically, it's like that's how I do my routine with my oils. Let me see if I have my picture. I'll bring it to you. Yeah, I like to create most of these drawings or early in the morning or maybe sometimes at night when I do the sketches.
Because you mentioned like you'll get, an idea or you're about to fall asleep. And so then I was just curious, like how much do you look at reference versus comes out of your head? Because your paintings are fascinating because from a distance they look very realistic, even though some things are more implied. And then you get up close and then it's just like a wonderful myriad of color. So I'm just curious, like, how that all comes, like how long does that take for like the rooster in the show at Robert Lang? How long did that rooster take? And that's like, I don't know, was that a 12 by 12 or a 16 by 16, something like that?
Probably like 4 days, maybe. But that I feel like sometimes paintings like that, like for example, like doing a series of big oil paintings, portraits, and I don't think I have now one showing up in the studio. I can show you guys later. That the work is very spontaneous. I don't predict too much where the colors go, so it's not so much based on my sketch when it comes to works like that. And I feel like because I'm using a single subject, and the background can allude to anything, so it becomes very abstracted. The paintings start building from there, right? So I kind of assume the color that I'm gonna apply in one area, or the texture, or the collage. So it goes that way.
So cool. So like, do you just have cases of paint just lying around?
I do. I do. I do. I can show you guys later. I used to, like the tubes, but now I'm buying these cans of oils.
Mm.
There's a company based in New York. I forgot the name. So they sell oils by the gallon.
Is it Vasari?
And, what is it?
Is it Vasari? The paint? You said you buy it in cans, right?
Yeah. It's a they sell by the gallons. So it's enough paint for me to go through the process of especially the big paintings.
Yeah.
And sometimes I make mistakes, and the evolution of the paintings. Sometimes I like how it looks, but that area requires to rework on it, because now I have done something next to it that doesn't match, or is cohesive to what is already there. So I had to go over or erase it, or add more layers. So it's kind of like experimentation. And I do use a photograph, but photograph is more like this process of looking at it and then trying to remember what you saw, and do an interpretation of it.
Yeah, it's such an interesting combination, your work. So it felt like there must have been a drawing in there somewhere, and then you just saw where it took you after you got that basin. That's what it felt like to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool. Yeah, because I know that piece is big, right?
Yeah. Well, which which piece?
Like, didn't you do that piece already and it's bigger?
Oh, this one I haven't done this one, but
Oh,
there's
okay.
this character I've been painting him for a while now.
Okay, yeah, I've
And
seen one with the character then.
the translucent person. So this is more kind of experimentational. It's not too much thought on it, like conceptual thoughts, but I still like it.
Wow.
So
Fantastic.
thank you. This is plein air painting. Then I usually now mixing crayons. Have you worked with crayons? This is like interesting, because my last time I worked with crayon was when I was a kid, and then now I get obsessed with it.
That's awesome.
Are they crayons, or are they like oil pastels or crayons?
No, this one in my sketchbooks are crayons, literally.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
That's nice.
Portrait.
Very nice.
Thank you.
That's cool.
So these are all gouache, Reynier?
These are wash, and these lines, crazy lines, I do on top. their friends,
Yeah,
because I want to, I don't know if you feel about that. I like to my new work go back to the essence of drawing as well, and some of the areas I would like to leave it on with the lines, the initial lines, the skeleton of constructing the painting, kind of like Toulouse-Lautrec. Yeah, he actually used a lot of cardboards for his work,
right.
and then constructing the paintings from the materials that I'm using, and leaving these areas with the lines, and then after I will use oil sticks, but the oil sticks are so expensive, and when you have so much texture on it, like you will go so fast on one of these tubes. So I'm using my oil tubes as drawings, as a pencil.
Oh,
That makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Some piggies. I'm kind of like doing paintings with kind of like black holes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the tractor on the
Oh,
snow.
yeah.
Let's see. This one, I did this one for my upcoming show.
Oh, that's lovely.
Thank you. So the watch allows me to build layers. Like I can do it on the watercolor, but the watercolor is still seems sort of flat, and the watches give me some lucid areas I could pretend to be a watercolors, and also you can add the imposters.
Oh, lovely.
Wow.
Very fun. Thank you for sharing all that. That's beautiful.
Man,
Thank you, man. Hope not making bored.
Oh, not at all.
This one. That one. I using this like the scuba diver painting, the Heidi Treasure. To me, that was a series that stuck still, because I feel like nature has become something that sometimes we take it for granted. And for me as a child, we used to play outside without worrying about something malicious can happen. And now getting back to these sort of sensations that I want to reconnect with nature, and especially in that time with the pandemic, like nobody can go outside and socialize, and these mental problems were developing because of that. So the scuba diving paintings, or reflecting into that topic. And now this one is like how you call those, like the floaters.
Like
Oh,
an inner
yeah.
tube? Wow.
Inner tube?
Yeah, I need to say. I'm painting this one now. It's a big
How big are
canvas.
you painting that?
This one is 84 inches by 76.
Oh my gosh. How long is that going to take?
That one is taking a while. It's this kind of painting, like you feel that you know what to do on it, and then when you're in the middle of the work, and then it's like, what else I can do to make this painting look better?
Forever chasing that, right?
Yeah, so I'm facing that stage now. It's a portrait of my dad.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thanks. That's my son, his friend.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
the light you captured in that.
Thank you. One of the painters I always admire is Joaquin Sorolla, the Spanish artist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. So I went to Spain for his 100th anniversary of his death, and they were doing these retrospective shows all over Spain, and I got to see several of those pieces. It's just amazing. My first encounter with Joaquin Sorolla was in Cuba. The first time I went to the museum in Havana, I was in front of several of his paintings, and this is the first time I cried in front of a painting.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it was so bright, and like it was like you were like inside that scenery. It's brilliant. His work is brilliant. Another rooster. I'm
Lots of
obsessed with rooster
roosters.
now. That's a watercolor. I had done this painting too. This sketch. A uh, crayon drawing. Watercolor. Reynier. I also did this painting. So again, it's the universe
Hmm.
inside of bathtub.
Wow.
That's cool.
And the swimmers. I also did this painting again, the poet, the translucent character, and a lot of these paintings are also going back to my memories in, as as child back in Cuba. Some of these places are referenced on my grandmother's home, and she used to have a bathtub on the backyard. She grew plants there. It was kind of like abandoned. It was a very interesting object to see involved with the nature.
Uh-huh.
This is a poet, but also the thinker of the Rodin sculpture. And I think this is the last one.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's a fishing boat and the kind of like all motor,
Oh yeah.
and this kind of like these two silhouettes. I don't know if it's gonna be people, something else, and flowers.
I love it.
Well, now I've got sketchbook envy for the next 6 months. Thanks, Reynier.
Right?
Hey, on that topic, everybody, you've got about 4 minutes. Start posting your work. It's hashtag drawing hive 221 hashtag drawing hive and at Visual Arts Passage. We're gonna check it out. We're gonna head over there in a few minutes. Before we do, I want to remind everybody, John mentioned this at the beginning of the episode. This is all sponsored by Visual Arts Passage. If you don't know what Visual Arts Passage is, we offer online courses that are delivered in a mentorship style for illustration and fine art. And our whole goal is everybody that draws with us on the panel and everybody that we work with, this is all their livelihood. They've managed to pursue what they love doing and make a career out of it. And from my personal opinion, that's a pretty amazing thing. Very few people get to do that. And it's all about mapping out and identifying that thing that you love, that you have that passion for, and then finding the right compass that's going to help you get to that X marks the spot, which is real opportunities that can, I mean, everybody can love making art, but it's really something when you can wake up every day and say, this is how I'm going to pay my bills. I'm going to do what I love. And our courses pair you with people that have kind of been through that jungle before. you know, I hear all the time people say, you know, the life of an artist, it's very like solitary. It could be isolating. And the truth is it doesn't have to be. Um, the more community that you have, the more support systems you have in anything you want to do, it's going to help you succeed. And that's really the cornerstone of our program. It's building up a community of skilled people where you can attend a course. If you need to work on your skills, that's the course you'll be in. And you're going to have somebody that is highly trained in that field, and they're going to send the elevator back down. I love saying that. It's they've already succeeded. They're going to help you get to where you want to be. We're all about career development. So our program is really not a hobbyist program. It's a program that's really specifically for people who want to build careers out of this. And we're really excited about the careers that have come from it. And Dale, I'm so glad you mentioned Imagine FX tonight because this is just a preview of some of the students that we've had in there. And I had to show it. It's so exciting. Really awesome work.
That's inspiring.
Shane, Aaron, Joe, Nate, Chiara. And it's just, these are all students that worked really hard to develop their skills. And in our program, they learned from artists that were really at the top of their game and were really generous with the information. And we don't believe in gatekeeping. We really want to pass the keys on to the next generation. And so our courses start October 5th. Enrollment closes next Friday. So if you're thinking about making this your career, whether it be illustration, you want to work with galleries, you want to do comics, if you want to tell stories with images, the best way to do it is learn from people who are doing it really well, and get them on your team, get them rooting for you. That's what we do. So go to visualartspassage.com. You can also respond to any email we send out. It goes right to me, and happy to answer any questions you have. Always happy to hop on a call, have a discussion. Anyways, I wanted to brag about our students because it's so exciting to see them go off and do stuff like that. And these
Absolutely.
are these are the 5 of a long list of students who've gone out and really blown us away with their work. But it's always exciting to see a new crew of 5 make the list. You know?
Let me ask you a question. When you enroll those classes, because they're online, can you also rewatch it then again, or?
I'm so glad you asked. We're gonna have you on more often. Yes, you can. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. That's a great question. Yeah, everything's live, but we record it and we always give people access. They can download it, they can watch it as many times as they want. We've got we've got some incredible guest speakers coming up. Reynier, you're probably gonna get an email from me to be a guest speaker soon, but I'm really excited. We've got a David Kassan coming through.
David
Scott.
Kassan?
Yep.
Nice.
He's
Okay, so I have a short story to say. Thanks to a video, and this is one of the reasons I'm asking, because your question before was like, what are the entertainments you've been doing lately? So I've been listening a lot of your podcasts. So every time I'm working on the studio, I'm enjoying a lot of your interviews.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I think that's the first time that Visual Arts Passage has made the cut for a hot wreck of the week.
Reynier, I owe you an apology.
When we met yesterday, Reynier told me that, and I was like, I'm so sorry that you've had to listen to me talk.
Bro, it's awesome. It's awesome. You can learn a lot. But I come in with this question because I was wanting to intervene, and I know this is pre-recorded about that. If you enroll and you can see the show, I mean the class pre-recorded, so that's good.
Yeah.
And about David Kassan, I learned how to draw because of his DVD.
Wow.
Really?
So, Reynier, he was a student of mine for about 5 or 6 weeks when he was 19 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was one of the years I was there.
Yep.
Isn't that wild? This is such a small little world.
Cause,
we live
cause
in?
and effect. Cause and effect.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're really excited for the guest speakers. I'll go through the list and then we're gonna head over to Instagram. But
Hey,
Francis,
you got to go around the room before we do that. I want to see
No,
everybody's work.
we will. Francis Vallejo, Iris Compiet, Jason Sealer, Afua Richardson, Tony Rodriguez, and Scott Anderson. Pretty
There you
exciting
go.
semester.
Heck yeah.
I'm just gonna hop around the room real quick before we head over to Instagram, and this is great. Good stuff.
Oh, beautiful.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
With that tiny
got-
pencil, Dale, you did it with that tiny pencil.
Can you keep that there for a second? I wanted to draw from Dale's drawing.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
I
wow.
couldn't see it that well in the black and white.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Nice.
That's so cool.
Scott. Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
It's great. You can tell that's a Scott Anderson right there.
absolutely.
Oh, thanks,
Uh-huh.
man.
You
Fantastic.
can.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
it's saving, guys. I think.
And then this is the first time I've got to do this. No, that's the wrong one. Oh,
Wow.
not bunch. Oh man, it was supposed to be a drum roll. I'm so sorry, John.
John, do you use charcoal?
This is pastel.
That's pastel.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes I draw in charcoal too.
It was supposed to be a drum roll. I swear, John.
Look at that.
All right. Give it up for the guest. All right. Sorry, John. That really looks that looks
I almost
rough with
believe
what
it.
I just did to you, John. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Everybody, I'm going to say this out loud. I think we found our newest best friend tonight in Reynier.
Yeah.
Yay.
You are
Yeah,
awesome,
thank
man.
you, guys. You guys
Really
are
enjoyed the
fantastic.
conversation, and I love seeing the artwork. You do this. Your time has been well spent, and man, you are doing it for the right reasons.
All
So-
right.
Thank you. It's an honor to listen that from you, my friend.
All right. Before we say our goodbyes, though, we got to look at some artwork.
Yeah.
This is so cool, Reynier, that you'll get a total kick out of all the people that draw with us.
Let's see how many
Yeah.
whites we
Yeah,
got.
I've been enjoying that in the end of the each podcast.
Oh, this is great.
Ooh,
love it.
enchilada.
Nice.
Nice. Ooh,
Ah,
There you go, AJ.
Tony.
good.
Gabagool.
Oh,
Wow.
Alberto, that's
Ver-
lovely.
Very
Oh,
nice.
Fantastic.
Good stuff.
Really
Nice.
nice drawing. Oh, I really like that.
Yeah, that's
Well
Oh,
done.
nice.
Oh, nice.
nice.
There's a Clint.
There's a Clint.
Good likeness.
Tony.
Tony.
Oh, good
nice.
Really
Love it.
cool.
That's really cool.
Good stuff.
Love
Love
that. That's
that.
awesome. Yeah.
Ooh,
stuff.
that's
That's
neat.
cool.
Ooh, Randy. That's killer.
Randy, beautiful.
The
Really
boss.
cool.
Oh, good.
one.
Awesome, Nicole.
That's
so
great,
funny.
Nicole.
Oh, damn. That's great.
Nice.
Well done.
Oh, love it.
Love it. Really got that blood.
This is awesome, guys. Like these people they do the hashtags and the trends
Yeah.
come
Like the
up.
little cartoon in the
That is
background.
awesome.
Oh,
Oh my
nice.
gosh, Eric.
Wow,
That's
Eric.
amazing.
Oh
That's
my
really good.
goodness.
Damn.
Oh,
Wow.
that's
Good
fantastic.
drawing.
Yeah, it really is.
Great
Wow.
job,
Oh
Adam.
my God, AJ. That is
Oh,
That's
awesome.
great.
I like that.
that is so
Yeah.
I
cool.
like that.
You're cool.
Oh, man.
That is nice.
Fantastic.
Simple
that's
to
good.
the point.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I
funny.
like
Oh,
that.
that's
Is that like a-
fun.
Is that like an angry bird in the background?
Oh,
I
yeah,
do love
look
that
at
Tony's head just says gabagool. Yeah. Yeah, nice.
Great job.
Good stuff.
Really
Oh,
nice.
Love it.
That's actually a really good likeness.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, this is great.
Wonderful. Great job.
Oh, that head.
Oh, Julia.
Julian.
Very
Well done,
nice.
Julian.
That's nice.
Love
A
it.
bald, spattered head.
Oh, dang.
Love it, Jeff.
Wow, Jeff.
Very well done.
Super.
Oh, nice.
Mm,
Really nice.
This is great.
Great
cool.
job. We got a lot of good Kill Bills here with Uma Thurman.
Uh-huh.
Good
Nice.
drawing.
That's my husband.
Hey, hold it there. That's nice.
All right, E-Man.
Nice.
Yeah,
Maybe
he
the
actually
most
got to, I have
Yeah.
kids, so he got to like, draw in the midst of that. So
Yeah.
that's like dealing with chaos and drawing.
Applause.
Oh, that's nice. I like that
Oh,
touch.
I love that.
Mhm. Nice.
Too
Awesome.
short though.
Great
Good stuff. Nice. Black Mamba. Nice.
penmanship.
Oh my
that's
gosh, I love that.
cool.
That's so much fun. That's awesome.
That is so good.
Good stuff.
Nice,
yeah.
Terry.
There we go.
Wow.
Mm,
Show
As an
us
impression?
my favorite.
That is good, Tony. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Oh
Well,
my gosh.
Ooh,
Good. I got a blood.
Wow.
that's cool, AJ.
Wow.
Amazing.
Nice, Alberto.
So nice.
Oh, that's
Very
cool.
super.
Is someone gonna get a
Oil,
woe
Oh, way to
tonight?
go, Jack.
Wow.
Great painting.
Nice, Jack.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Super.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Cool.
that's awesome, Rebecca.
Wow.
Good eyes there. Good
I
eyes.
like it unfinished.
And it's Rebecca's birthday, by the
Look
way.
at that.
Oh my
Birthday,
God.
Rebecca.
Wow. That's
Should we
really
give
great.
this, should this get the woe for tonight?
No. Nice.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That was Chris Payne in the room, man.
I know, that's what I saw.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is fantastic too.
Wow.
Beautiful work.
Lovely.
Oh,
Great.
that's beautiful too.
Really
Yeah.
is.
Julian, using color.
Nice
Is it
job.
great? Is it? Nice.
Oh, I'm gonna kill
Oh.
Will.
That's
Awesome.
awesome, Joe.
It just went full blown poster. Nice.
Well done.
That's all you
Very
need.
nice.
Oh,
Love
good
it.
job. Yeah,
Very nice.
Oh, very nice.
really great.
Good stuff.
Oh,
Oh,
Maria,
I
that's
love
cool.
that.
That's
Oh
so
my God, that's so
cool.
funny. That's
I
awesome.
love
That hot
that.
pink?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
hot pink, the glasses,
Oh,
the perfect
man.
Can you
tent.
give that one a heart for me?
Oh,
I
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
I will.
awesome.
That's
Oh,
really
Karen,
good
that is
too.
lovely.
I
Just
love it.
lovely.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh,
Very nice.
Wow.
That's so cool. The clouds in the background.
Oh my God.
Y'all brought it tonight.
Yeah. Yep, they did. I think I know who this is.
Ah,
Whoa.
Felicity.
Wow.
Whoa.
Nice.
Age 13.
Felicity?
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
She's been
What?
drawing with us for 4 years.
Oh my
She,
God.
she signed her first drawing, Felicity 8.
She's
Wow.
13?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Kid.
my God.
Yeah. There
So
we go.
good.
Good stuff,
job.
people. I love that, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That's a good one. That's
Nice
nice
stuff.
too.
Wow.
Nice.
A lot of talent in the
Oh,
room
Terry,
tonight.
I love it.
Good stuff.
Jeff,
Mhm.
I just don't know how you get all of it done, man.
Wow.
That's
Lovely.
Oh my God, Aaron, that's awesome.
Ooh,
Nice, Aaron.
That's a character.
Yeah, it is.
great
Nice.
job.
Nice, Trina.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Really
Love
good.
it.
Uma
Fun.
Thurman's hard to draw because she's just like so symmetrical.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's too
she's
perfect.
Yeah,
perfectly symmetrical, right? Yeah.
really. Oh, I love that.
Tony.
Wow, that's
Tony.
lovely.
That is.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
that,
Nice.
that,
Love that goatee. I
that
love
goatee
it.
is awesome, isn't it?
Mm,
Yeah.
like
Nice.
its own character. It's
Arturo.
fantastic.
Love it.
Oh, I love that.
Nice.
Amazing.
Really nice.
Whoa,
Wow.
that's
That's
good.
cool.
It really. Oh, dang. I love it.
All the reference got drawn tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
So they were
Nobody's
all
getting a
better than
t-shirt.
us. They didn't just stick to Walter.
Yep.
Oh, Junebug.
Nice.
Great
we-
job.
Age 7.
Nice. Age
Nice.
7.
Hey,
I wish I
awesome.
could I wish I
Watch
could
out.
pay like that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Watch out, Felicity.
Yeah.
Competition is coming.
There's always a freshman class. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I love it. A lot of people, a lot
Oh,
of people
that's
posted tonight.
That's
This is
awesome.
great.
That's what
Good
we want
stuff.
to see. Great job,
Very
Terry.
nice.
Thanks, Terry.
Ooh, wow.
Love
Your
it.
square is so crisp too, with such a good drawing.
Nice. Nice expressions.
Oh,
Look,
that's
Jeff's-
fantastic.
they did it all.
Yeah, they
Yep.
drew Joe Kidd. I
Yeah,
like it.
got all of them.
They also drew yesterday's ref too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
amazing.
Very,
Wow.
dang
Wow.
it, that's good.
Wow.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Mm,
Love it.
Oh my gosh.
That's a
John,
really good drawing.
lovely.
It really
Very
is.
well done.
Great job. Yes, Randy.
That's nice, Randy.
Yeah, like mega mind.
I love it.
That's
Yeah,
really
I
good.
love it.
Oh,
What is that?
Oh my
Way to go,
God.
Melissa.
Having you two next together with his illustrations. I love that. Say my name.
Mm,
Oh, that's awesome,
nice.
Xander.
Wow,
That's
Xander.
really
Xander.
nice.
Gotta go with the pinstripes. Yeah.
Mm.
that's
Oh,
Wow,
great expression.
I tried.
Cartoons are
Awesome stuff. Man, a lot of people posted tonight.
Oh, rock.
Really?
Ooh,
Nice,
Great
I
Xander.
stuff.
love that,
Xander.
Xander.
Mm.
Love that pattern on the shirt.
I love that. That's so
Wow,
much fun.
Melissa.
Oh, that's so good,
Oh,
Melissa.
good.
It's really great. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Fun.
The brain power.
Wow.
Love this stuff.
Wow.
Dang it.
Look
Yeah.
at the hands. Very nice.
Pew
Pew,
This is awesome stuff. All right, this is the first. Xander,
Oh.
this is the first. You're the last one. That was an awesome night. Everybody, don't forget, enrollment closes next week. So if you're thinking about it, reach out now. Email hello@visualartspassage or just shoot us a message literally anywhere. You all, that was so much fun. Thank
So
you
great.
so much.
Thank you, guys.
Everybody on the
Thank
panel.
you. What a great experience.
So great meeting you, Reynier.
Thank you so
and-
much, and I hope I can meet you guys in person sometime soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would
Totally.
love that. And I can promise you this, we're gonna have a Reynier part 2 for sure. We're gonna
Please,
try to get you back
please.
on
It was
here.
so awesome having you here.
Yeah.
Time in.
Thank you for
Yay.
being here, Scott and Dale and Cassandra. You guys are all awesome.
Pleasure.
Have a nice night.
Have a great
Great
night.
week,
Have a nice night,
everybody.
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Bye bye.